So this is a very this video is a very vulnerable video for myself, but when I got this, I feel that this could really help so many people. So I'm going to share it anyway, but next week I'm going to be leading, so for home church I'll be leading I was asked to lead the communion. So as I was just sat there this morning, I was thinking, and I thought more, and I was deciding like what kind of route shall I take this over, and then this thought came to my head. So first, as we know, when Jesus died on the cross, it would have been a lot of pain. Sometimes we kind of dismiss this because we're like, well, Jesus is God, it couldn't have been that bad. But he was in human form. And as humans, we know that we have complicated feelings as well as we feel pain. So he would have felt pain. It would not have been easy for him whatsoever. And thinking that he did this for us. He literally did this for us, and it puts it into perspective. So I'm not going to go into too much detail, but basically on the topic of kind of like suicide and stuff like that, obviously the one thing that I'll mention this anyway, I might as well, that pointed out is the fact that we're not only are we kind of, God's created us, for us to live, is the fact that we are also a gift for somebody. So for example, like I'm a gift, like gift that God has given my parents, and it would be like, and I like I don't know if it's an allergy, but about analogy, I can't even say the word, but it'd be like if someone gave you a gift and then that gift was suddenly taken away from you one particular day. Obviously, it's completely, I mean, I don't even, but you get the whole kind of idea, that kind of thing. But it got me thinking that God sent his son to die on the cross. As we mentioned, he went through all that pain, and to then it's kind of not, for me, what kind of revealed to me, it's a bit ungrateful to then end the life of which God helped. He died on that cross so we could have everlasting life with him, and to then take that away, it's a bit of like that ungrateful thing, is we not really established actually this full extent of this sacrifice that Jesus made on the cross for us. And that's just what came as a thought. It's kind of more so as it may make you feel a bit uncomfortable because it did make me feel a little bit uncomfortable, but at the same time it is that kind of thing, that ungratefulness kind of thing, because Jesus died on that cross all for us, and we're going to kind of take that as an advantage and then take that and end our lives as if, what Jesus didn't matter. Like Jesus did that to prolong our lives, and then we're then taking away that, taking away that life and not prolonging it. So that's a thought that came to my head, which is a little bit uncomfortable, but it does kind of make sense at the end of the day, and it's something to cling on to remember what Jesus did for us, what he did for us on this cross, and that he truly does love us. So yeah, that I thought I'd just share that. It was a thing that came into my head. And then if that feels a bit too uncomfortable, just remember that you're a gift. God gave your parents a gift. I mean, it may not work if if you don't know your parents, or there's a very not a very good family dynamic that's happening, but that's another reason. But for me, that was like the proper like thing that's just stuck in my head, that Jesus, that ultimate sacrifice he made on the cross, was for us because he loves us. He loves us so much. Like, even being on the earth, when he was sent down on the earth and dealing with all these people, these Pharisees and stuff, he still loved us enough to do what God, commissioned him to do on earth, and being that ultimate sacrifice. So that's a kind of thing that's kind of just remembering that Jesus loves us so much. He took his own life for us to prolong our lives, and just like clinging on to that and remembering that that was horrific that day. That was completely horrific what he went through, and he did that for us. He did that for us because he loves us. No matter what's going on in our lives, he loves us so much and he's there for us. And it's just something to kind of like remember that even when we maybe times you don't feel love, just remember that Jesus died for you, and that's the ultimate love, because you're never really going to find any of your friends are going to do the exact same. If you go to them and say, look, can you like die for me please, most of the time they're going to be like, no, that's not happening, or they'll look at you gonna like, what are you even talking about? But yeah, just remember that Jesus loves you so much.